All right, there are reports of a fire breakout in Parliament premises. These visuals that you can see are coming to you from the Parliament premises. There is smoke billowing out from inside Parliament. It is difficult to make out at this point from exactly where that fire is emanating from, or rather the smoke is emanating from. But you can see a cloud of dust there, which looks like smoke from a fire that has engulfed that entire area outside the Parliament premises. From the initial reports, we understand that it is somewhere close to the power station. There is fire inside the Parliament premises. These are visuals coming to you directly from outside Parliament House, where you can see some amount of smoke that is billowing out of the premises. It's a vast area, and at this point it is difficult to ascertain which point or why this fire broke out, but you can clearly see in that slightly close-up shot that we're getting now for you that this fire seems to be billowing out of the main building of Parliament. We'll shortly get you exactly how the fire broke out and where exactly this fire broke out within the Parliament premises. Smita Sharma is close to the Parliament premises, and she sent us this report.
We are here at Rafi Marg, and right behind me is the Parliament of India. You can see these black, dense fumes emerging from the Parliament premises. This houses an AC power plant. This is the one that has caught fire, and in fact, these are very scary visuals right now. Police vans, and also there are no fire brigade engines or vehicles here as of now. But security forces, in fact, they are still on alert. They cannot leave their posts. But these dark plumes, clearly we do not know the reason of this fire as of now. But it will be a huge challenge in trying to control, because this entire area, if you see, they almost look like they've been enveloped with dark clouds. Here outside in Parliament with video journalist Satinder Bhati, this is Smita Sharma for Headlines Today.
Smita getting us that report, really scary visuals over there. Smita is joining us with more details. Smita, what are the attempts there to douse this fire?
No, there are several, in fact, fire brigade vehicles which have now come in Maha over the last few minutes since I sent out that initial ground report. And in fact, a lot of these, the firefighters, they are, because remember, this fire has been emanating from this power plant which is inside the parliamentary premises. You know, you cover Parliament, you know this area. This is on Rafi Marg, just opposite the Central Secretariat metro station if you were to enter Parliament. And, so there's a parking space. In fact, if you were to go just a few meters away from the area where members of Parliament really enter Parliament. But, there was this one onlooker here whom we just met, who claimed that he is somebody who has served in fire department earlier. He seems to be understanding that perhaps the fire might have been generated because of fire in the generator. We do not know the reasons yet. For the moment, the bigger challenge for police forces and in fact paramilitary forces have also been launched in is to ensure that onlookers do not crowd onto these streets. Rafi Marg is now being barricaded, and except for barring a few camera persons, in fact, all the common people, they are being asked to in fact move. You can hear this ruckus behind me, the constant sirens in fact of the fire brigade vehicles, as well as of course the police vans coming in. The roads have been in fact barricaded from certain points, but the fire, in fact, the scale of it seems to be pretty huge. We are not aware if there's been any casualty inside at the moment, but as I could peek in, from some of those ventilators on the walls surrounding the Parliament, I could see that the firefighters were really struggling to douse this fire. They will perhaps take some time before it is under control, Maha.
Smita, are you getting any sense of how the fire broke out? Is there anybody communicating with you all?
Not at the moment, really, Maha. We do know that there is an AC power plant here, and that's really which seems to be the center of this fire. But as I said, as of now, police forces, in fact, are trying to ensure that onlookers do not crowd this area, don't kind of get caught in this entire fire which is playing out at the moment itself. But they are trying to take control of the situation here and, douse the fire as well, Maha.
Smita, when did you all detect that there is a fire that has broken out in Parliament premises?
Maha, in fact, it was just a few minutes back when I was actually in Vijay Chowk, which is, the adjoining area, just less than 100 meters away from Parliament, where the media persons, in fact, tend to uplink all our feeds from, and that is really the transmission point. You can hear all these signals of more Delhi Fire Service vans really sort of pouring in now in large numbers, and when we were in Vijay Chowk trying to uplink our feed, that's when we suddenly saw the plume. Now, there have been these kind of hoax in the past where media persons have really run out to Parliament sensing that there might be some fire, but it's turned out to be, some leaves being burned somewhere or some little cleaning up happening somewhere. But today, of course, it wasn't the case, and this was like a genuine fire, which, in fact, will need a lot of struggling on for the moment to be, of course, doused, Maya. Maha.
All right. In fact, Smita Sharma is sending us some stunning visuals over there of thick black cloud of smoke engulfing a part of the Parliament premises. As Smita puts it there seem to be dark clouds almost of smoke all over that area. In fact, as she tells us, the security forces, the police is now trying to cordon off that area entirely, the Rafi Marg side of the Parliament premises. Smita, it seems really ominous. We can even see fire inside the premises from some of the areas where you can look inside Parliament. What is the scene there at the moment? How many people trying to rescue, if at all there is anybody inside at the moment?
More than a dozen, fire brigade vehicles here right now, Maha, and dozens of, in fact, firefighters. Also, not just the Delhi police personnel, but also central forces, CRP forces, in fact, have spanned out across the whole of Parliament. And, we are now, in fact, connected visually, Maha, if our producers to perhaps try and cut to us. And as and when they cut to us, we can try and show you the Parliament, the scene, of course, playing out outside of Parliament. But there's of course, this tall wall which surrounds Parliament, and one cannot really peep in there. But there are little ventilators that have been built from inside. We have been trying to look inside, and we do see that, there were stretchers and all also that were being prepared. Perhaps, just a normal preparation to ensure that in case there are any casualties, of which we do not have any confirmation as of now, to be prepared. So we really do not know as to what state the fire is in at the moment, because most of the areas have been cleared off by the security forces.
All right, so most of the areas have been cordoned off by the security forces, as you can see in the visuals being sent by Smita Sharma. A plume of smoke, rather black clouds of smoke engulfing that entire area close to the fire, close to the power station inside Parliament premises. So we do know at this point that fire broke out in that particular area. How close or far it is from the main building of the Parliament building where MPs sit, Smita is going to give us a sense of that in just a short while. But let me quickly tell you what you're seeing on the television screens at the moment are visuals that are coming in from around the Parliament premises, where clear black clouds of smoke can be seen emanating from inside the premises. It is learnt that the power station, there is fire at the power station inside the premises. Smita Sharma is with us now with more details. Smita, help us understand how far is this power station within the Parliament premises from the area where the parliamentarians sit on working days, something like the Central Hall?
Well, it's just a distance of a few meters, Maha, really, In fact, if I could just show you around, this is the area that people in Delhi and, of course, other parts of the country would be familiar with. This is Rail Bhavan here, right behind me. To my left is one of the several entrances of Parliament, in fact, and as you can see, this is Rafi Marg, really, a lot of paramilitary forces there, in fact, deployed. Rafi Marg, you have an entrance, the main reception to Parliament, actually, this is the way that goes in there, and once you enter from the main reception, then for reporters and journalists, we go to the left. To the right, these little ventilated spaces, the security man, of course, there on the post. This is essentially a parking area area which also houses the AC power plant. That is where really we saw those dark plumes coming out of, though I must say that now their scale seems to be much lesser. So perhaps they have in fact managed in a way to successfully fight the fire over the last 10-15 minutes or so. This area in fact was being cleared off. As you can see to the left hand side that I'm trying to show you, Maha, all the people have been asked to be on the left hand side there on the road. But, police forces, in fact, Maha, I regret, they are trying to stop us from going ahead right now. The OB van, of course, which is parked there.
Okay.
But this is also the road that goes towards the All India Arts and Crafts Society. Mr. Sir, एक initial reaction सर आप बता सकेंगे रीजन क्या लग रही है? मैं क्या मुझे कुछ नहीं पता सर. अभी क्या कामयाबी मिली है? आप बुझा दिए सर, कंट्रोल कर लिया उन्होंने आज से? मेरे को क्या पता, आप अंदर देखो नहीं, मुझे क्या पता सर. अंदर जाने की तो इजाजत नहीं है. Well, clearly, the police officer seems to be very agitated right now, but the fire definitely does seem to be now much under control, because remember those visuals that we sent out, the sun in fact got drowned because of those black plumes. Sun is clearly out now. The area seems to be much clearer, and perhaps sooner than later, of course, we will get a more sort of a sense, Maha, as to what really went wrong. But this does raise very important questions. If this was something that happened because of lack of maintenance, this is the parliament of the country that we are talking about.
Absolutely.
And if there's such a fire, God forbid, if till yesterday the budget session was on, even when the budget session is not on for now today, there will be officials who are working inside. And what if the fire within minutes had spread towards the main hall of parliament? So this should come, in fact, as a very, very important wake-up call for all those who are responsible for the situation inside.
Smita Sharma telling us that the fire is under control at the moment. Smita, can you tell us how long was the fire raging?
It almost went up all the way to say I would say more than perhaps a 9 or a 10-story building, Maha, really. If I could give you that sense here, because they were clearly much, much higher. This is the Rail Bhavan building right behind me. But when we saw the fire raging, it was clearly much above the Rail Bhavan building itself. But now, it definitely, I can breathe properly right now, Maha, for a few minutes. In fact, we were all choked. Our eyes had started burning.
Smita, just stay on with us. We're getting some reactions.
सुनिए सर, सुनिए सर, आप थोड़ी ना निपुण अरे ऐसे बांधो यार, बोल के सर ऐसे बांधो यार, खंबे से बांधो ना, ऊपर रहेंगे. आप आइए, इधर रहिए, उठा रास्ता ऊपर करो, ऊपर करो.
Those visuals are coming to you, clearly showing that the security forces were trying at that moment to cordon off the entire Rafi Marg, where these thick plumes of smoke were seen billowing out of the parliament premises.